Afternoon. How are we all doing? Afternoon, Diamond. Afternoon, Ladder. CAD Swiss is very annoying today, isn't it? I knew I should have taken that off. Never mind. I just got into another oil this afternoon. So it just tanked basically, oil. Just went collapsed for a good 25 minutes. So I bought it, ADR. So, where are we? It's the, what's going on my VPS? So yeah, it's an ADR hit, reversal alert. I got in just before the reversal alert. I shouldn't slap myself on the wrist. I shouldn't actually get in before the reversal alert, but it pulled down into the propulsion gap. Look. And it was down there. And as soon as it hit that propulsion gap, it just paused and started to push. And then I was like, right, well, I'm getting in. So I just got in basically at the propulsion. It's half an ADR apart between the two positions. So it's just pretty much spot on where I wanted to get in. It could obviously come down plenty more. So we're still not sure on this oil what it's doing. Market structure looks to me like a continuation long, but it's really it's like it's like pulling teeth. It's like everything in the market feels like this at the moment. It just feels like pulling teeth. Everything. Really hard work. But anyway, so yeah, so I like that long. So I'm buying the pullback. Everything else this morning I've banked is mainly DAX, but I've also banked some Aussie New Zealand. So I'm out of Aussie New Zealand. Everything else everything else is DAX today so far. So Aussie New Zealand closed out second short. So I got in on the propulsion move after the Australian dollar announcement, waiting for that move down. It didn't come. They bought it back up again. So I added a second, got out of the second on Friday, and that's the initial one out today. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4 days in out. I think that's about 0.5% something. Everything else is just holding at the moment. So US dollar CAD is moving okay. So I'm going to take one off at ADR. And the second one I've got coming off at the highs, which is the propulsion gap. There's no other ADR hits today apart from oil so far. Euro pound, I'm trailing. I've posted all this out on the socials anyways, but I'm trailing this. Because we got the rate announcements coming out, Euro pound this week. We've got obviously, oh God, hit the right tab. Euro pound. We've got that on, they're both on Thursday, aren't they? Yeah, back to back Thursday. So I don't really see much point in holding this. I don't think we're going to get very far before the news. I've got this feeling we're just going to pop. Euro Swiss is just at ADR as well. I'll have a look at that in a sec. I've got a feeling we're just going to sort of pop and then drop and then pop and then drop. Might get a bit of progress up to there and then pull back to there, but I don't think it's going to go anywhere ahead of the rates, unless they're positioning themselves ahead of the rates. In which case, yeah, it might do. But I'm just trailing both of these positions, and I'll just get out with whatever it gives me. So either it'll go crazy and hit TP and do an ADR, or it won't, and I'll get out. Oil, I've just covered. CAD Swiss is just throwing my head in. It's just not getting anywhere at the moment. It's really, really struggling to get down. It's massive combined sentiment on this CAD Swiss. Retail is totally the other direction on it. 91% 91% now long on this. So, yeah, I'm shorting the crap out of it. And the other thing I've got on is pound US dollar, which I'm still on. I'm still in. I'm still waiting. This is now day 3 of me sitting here waiting. It's just not going down. Pound US dollar, no movement. Again, I got news this week, so it'll all move this week at some point. There's no news this morning, apart from Kremlin warning us that if we keep sending tanks and everything into Ukraine, we're getting involved in the war. Although he's been saying that for a year and nothing's happened, so carry on talking. Yeah. There you go. Bank 1.2 this morning. So NASDAQ this afternoon, I'm trading the 15-minute pre. We've got 3 minutes to the open. So my 15-minute pre-market range is currently that. So I will be taking breaks short and long of that area. And we'll see how we get on with the NASDAQ this afternoon. Afternoon, Frank. Afternoon, Chris. What was the other ADR we just had? It's Euro Swiss. So Euro Swiss. It's a strong buy. There you go. So not a mean reversion because it's a strong buy. Should have been in it already. If you weren't, you missed it. This is a weak Swiss franc again. So this Swiss franc, look, Euro Swiss, Aussie dollar Swiss, CAD Swiss, pound CAD, pound Swiss. Yeah, so this is the Swiss franc. This is the reason this is popping. Nothing to do with the euro. Massively weak Swiss franc. Again, this is becoming a very common thing now, this Swiss franc weakness, isn't it? It's not doing very well at the moment, the Swissy. Which is good because the buyer scorecard is saying you should be longing everything but pound Swiss and CAD Swiss. And the only reason you shouldn't be doing those is mainly because of sentiment. CAD Swiss, and the US dollar Swiss, but and the pound Swiss, there's no advantage on the pound Swiss. That's just fundamentally bad. So all going the right way if you're in it. RSI's same as this morning, pretty much. Aussie New Zealand hourly is down. Up to you if you want to buy that. I like that as a short. I will get back into that at some point. I'm just getting out of stuff at the moment because I'm close to getting stage evaluation passed, and obviously loads of news this week. Euro odd hit to the upside, so potential fade there. So this is hourly, and Euro pound. I'm long on that one, so I won't be mean reverting that one. Still plenty of room to the upside on that. Okay, NASDAQ. 15 seconds to the open. So pretty much the entire candle is my range today for the open. I've got a really tight stop on this for the NASDAQ. So this is a bit of an experiment today, this one. I'm not 100% sure on this. I'm worried about whipsawing today on this one, but we will see. Why? Oh, music. Oh, this is the one I'm going with the 75% on, isn't it? So 20-point trailer, 100 break even, and 75% of the range. This is going to be interesting. Got to be a bit careful here because I might pass a valuation. So I might have to just close this out today if I pass this valuation. Just get these sorted by profit. If this really pops today, I might get a move big enough to just close it all out, but we'll see. Just waiting for it. I'm so worried. But NASDAQ, tight stops on the NASDAQ. The data says it's the best thing to do with this pre-market open, but I don't know. I wonder if it's going to do that. I don't care. Why are these stop losses not trailing? Oh, they're 20 point, aren't they? I love live experiments. They're a bit nerve-wracking, aren't they? Should have used a reduced risk on it, really. How's everybody's morning been? Made lots of money? It's been quite a lot of movement today, so stuff is on the move. Yeah, don't like this. Stopped out profit, but just break even basically on those two. $50. So it's going to be quite difficult. The problem with this opening range, as we've discussed this morning, was if you get stopped out on whipsaw, because we know it's very volatile the first 10 to 15 minutes. To get me back into this now, we need to close back down where we were to get me in long, obviously. You can see how big this move is now, and my stops are very tight. And this is what worries me about this NASDAQ pre-market open. The whole purpose of the opening cash balance is to define a range that you can use. When you're using a pre-market range, obviously this pre-market range does not take into account market open volatility, which is obviously way higher than pre-market. So danger with this is the tightness of your entries. So we'll see how this plays out. I'm starting to think maybe I should have used $100 risk instead of 200 per position, or 400, 200 instead of 400 rather, which is what I've got on. But we'll see. You have to be bold. Missed CCHF TP. CCHF, what's that? CAD Swiss by 6 pips was asleep. Going short by the looks of things. CAD Swiss. Yeah, I didn't have a TP. I don't have a TP, so I'm short on NAS now. Yeah, I didn't have a TP on it. I was, like I said this morning, I was so tempted just to take this off down here and put it back on, but I needed to get all the way back up here to put it back on again. So, don't know. I still like it short, the CAD Swiss, though. I mean, the sentiment on it is mental. You know, retail's, I haven't got it here. Retail sentiment on it on the CAD Swiss is off the charts, has been for ages. 91% long. I just like it a lot. Okay, so short NASDAQ. So rejection of the high so far. So for this pre 15 minute to work, what we really need is after that first candle goes in, we need sentiment to jump on. We need sorry, not the sentiment, the speculative traders to jump on board in the direction the initial move was, which is negative. So this strategy only really works if you get those speculators on board early. Afternoon, David. Yeah, all good weekend. Went to a cocktail bar. Spent all day Sunday wishing I hadn't. It's going to get stopped out on this. Look, it's too tight. I thought it was. That's what, if you're going to produce returns, 10-to-1 returns, you need a tight stop. The danger with a tight stop is the continuous stop outs. Constant frustration of stop outs. That's the only downside to this pre-market strategy. Look, see, that's now going to fly without me. I might put the price action toolkit on and start trading this manually. I don't want to miss it. ORB is not going to do anything today because it's too volatile. But if that, if that had moved down 200 pips in that move, not 100, I'd still be in it. Anyone what do? So I'm just going to the opening range breakout. EA will obviously get me into those positions, but this is the trouble with it. I like it. I really like this initial 15-minute because you can make so much money so quickly, but you're going to get very frustrated with it, I think. We'll see. David, that's what I'm waiting on. US dollar Swiss or CAD Swiss to get good levels and a 5-minute reversal. Yeah, the CAD Swiss, I'm already in it short anyway. So US dollar Swiss has just double topped. Didn't quite take yesterday's high out though. US dollar Swiss 85% long as well. So it's another nice looking short that. I'm going to get a second bite of the cherry here. If we close in here in the next 1.5 minutes, I will get a second short on. Or long, whichever. I don't know. I don't know where it's going. It's going up or down, isn't it? I'll get a long or short, depending on what they do. I'm going long. Okay, so that's your 5-minute and your 10-minute range now in. Yeah, US dollar Swiss. You're just about to get a reverse alert on that. Now they've just taken the Asian high. Sorry, the London high. Well, actually, yeah. I mean, the London high really was there, so they've just taken the London high, so that could quite easily return today. If this Swiss US dollar is coming down, obviously you can see the US dollar is coming down, which is why we get a bit of strength on the NAS. If that continues, you're going to get a reverse alert for a short on that now. So just quickly look at what the Dow's up to. Dow is off. So we got a reverse alert there in London after that drop. The Dow is not hanging around this morning. Don't like it when the Dow gets that extended and the Nasdaq hasn't gone, because it means that the Dow's likely to pull back, which is going to bring the Nas down, which is going to stop me out. Too tight, isn't it? Too tight. I think I need to adjust this. I might have a look at some set files which are a little bit looser that still produce good profit, because the one that I'm using isn't that one. It's a 75%. So I might look for a 125. Actually, that's probably not a bad one, is it? It's 8.6. I wanted one that was going to get me in multiple times, though. So that one there uses 100%. That's pretty good. So that's 7 grand drawdown, 56 return, 8.3. So that'd be a good one to use. Or that one. That's the one I want to use. 2-to-1 TP. Stopped out on the long. So it's $400 down the pan. Gone short. So I mean, with this Dow, this is the danger. When you got the Dow rallying like this and the Nasdaq's not in sync, we're just going to chop here. I'm going to stop out on that. Now, there's a way to lose $800 in less than 5 minutes, people. Yeehaw. There goes all my profit for the day. Marvelous. Oh, God, and it's going to close inside the range again. I don't like this 75% stop. I had a feeling this was going to happen. It was either going to go or it wasn't. And if it didn't go, and now if it doesn't close back inside the pre-market opening range, I'm not even going to get on it. It's going to tank 200 points and I won't be on board. So the 15-minute opening range is there. We're inside bar basically at the moment on the 10. So that is probably a good entry off that 10-minute opening range candle. Okay, so a little bit premature here. Should have waited another few seconds, but so I'm going to take a break of the 10-minute opening range. We'll see if we get another one on that. This EA not good for US 30. Yeah, probably. Yeah, I mean, it all does the same. US 30, any index, you can trade any index with it. I'm just trading the Nasdaq and the DAX at the moment, so you can trade the US 30 with it. Yeah, I just haven't done any testing on it yet with the US 30. Well, I have, but not. I don't need to. I mean, if you trade all the indices, obviously, and at the moment we've got divergence across the indices, and it seems to be every day at the moment we seem to be getting Dow divergence for the first half an hour or so. Normally the indices are pretty much in sync. So if you're going to go use the same strategy on two indexes at the same time, all you're doing is doubling your risk. So on bad days, you're going to lose twice as much. I'm all about controlling risk rather than trying to get rich fast. So, but yeah, you can trade it on the Dow. All strategies work on all instruments from an opening range breakout perspective because obviously they all open at the same time. 22 seconds. Afternoon, Luke. I can't even say your name. Gold, please. What do you want to look at gold for? What? Gold's along at the moment, depending on what time frame you're trading. Okay, so I have got another bite of the cherry. We've closed inside, so I'm long. Nas. So we got to close back inside the pre-market open, which isn't good because what that means is we are basically contracting, which means basically we're whipsawing at the moment. So Dow needs to break that high and give the Nas a little bit of a boost. If that does, I'm going to take a second long on the 10-minute opening range, which I'm now in. And I might manually close these out because I need to get back that profit from this morning, from this afternoon. Let me just sort these by Nas. To there. So I'm break even on these two already. Again, I just think that's too tight. 100 is just too tight on this. This thing can move 200 a minute to like 20 points a minute. The Nasdaq 200 is too tight, isn't it? It's a silly setting. No wonder it makes so much money. You're just going to get stopped out so much on it, though. Too risky. Yeah, if you want to look at an instrument, let me know what time frame you're looking at. I could look at gold, but it's just a chart. It goes up and down. I don't know why you want to look at it, what your plan is with it. Okay, so I'm trailing now at 20 points. So it's in profit, trailing in profit. I'll leave that one to run. I'll manage my my trade manually. So let's have a quick look at where we're headed today. So Dow Jones, we've got this propulsion gap at ADR just before yesterday's high. So we're likely to find sellers sitting here in a minute. I'm going to TP on that first position. Thinking about TPing on it anyway. It's too close. I'm TPing on it manually. I'm not letting you take that. I'm TPing it manually. I'll decide where my TPs are. So yeah, we're likely to run into some sellers in this area, some resistance, which will push it back into this propulsion gap, which will form in however many minutes we've got. 1 minute. So you're going to get a propulsion gap forming in here. So we're going to be stuck between the sellers here and the buyers here at the moment. NAS has just run into that propulsion gap as well. NASDAQ. It's a bit difficult to pick with the NASDAQ today, isn't it? Because it's sold off so hard all day today. Obviously, this is where it really started to move before the Globex, at the end of the Globex session. So I would say that is where we're going to find resistance as well. We're just coming out of this. They're buying up basically this area. So remember I said this morning, just stopped out the second portion of that. So remember I said this morning, we're likely to come down here. And this is where we're going to find the buyers. Yeah, here, which is what we got. So we got down to there, got the reversal alert. That's where we're bouncing from at the moment. So everyone that bought up the rally on Friday and caused that move is adding more here. So we need to see if there's enough new sellers on board from this move today, because this is not related to earnings. Because remember, we got no earnings today. So next batch of earnings is tomorrow. So this is not an earnings related move on the Nasdaq. It's just price action basically. Oil back in profit. So that oil buy that I took, it's got me back to break even. We're just running into resistance here. So again, that was a propulsion gap buy. In here at ADR. So it's an ADR bounce. So I got into that basically because the ADR dash alerted me to it. So I just took it as soon as I saw the ADR hit on that one, because I'm looking to buy oil. So that's a nice ADR hit. Euro Swiss. We're off to new highs. Euro Swiss. Then pretty even but we've got more sellers on board, so expecting it to go long. So be careful if you're trying to mean revert that, because you're trading against sentiment. But saying that, that's where we're likely 125 ADR is where we're likely to start meeting some sell orders. So if we get 125 ADR, drop down M5, just wait for the reversal alert, although you might get it earlier than that by the looks of things. Right, so pre-market opening range is done. So unlikely I'm going to get back in with the opening range breakout EA. If you were using the standard 15-minute opening range break, you are long. If you're using the 5-minute, 10-minute, 15, you're only in at this level, long. And that's the only position you would have taken so far. You might have gotten on a 5 if you're using the 5 as well, which you'd have stopped out on, but you'd be long on that. But if you want to go and test this, Su Yong, on US 30, there is set files for it. If you go onto the website, there's a link to the set files, and in here there is a set file for the Dow. Which is all right. But I haven't done much testing on the Dow. Reason being is, like I said, you will often find you will get very similar moves on the Dow and the Nasdaq. However, the Dow, if you look at the way that the Dow moves, quite often you'll find the Dow is not as easy to make money out of. I find the Dow is not as easy to make money out of than the Nasdaq, because the Nasdaq's moves are so much faster and quicker and more volatile, and there's just so much more momentum on it. I just find it much easier to get profitable set files on the Dow. Just going to, oh, my stop loss is there. Did I not trail that? Okay. I'm just going to stop out on that one. I thought I was trailing it for some reason. That's why I was chatting away. Where the hell is my stop loss? What? Sorry, am I going mad? I got in with the last candle low stop loss. So where is it? What's it doing under there? Weird. Okay, long again on the NAS. So I did get another ORB entry. Blimey. I'll take it. Yeah, break even. There's a button for break even. So I stupidly thought I had trailers set, but I've actually realised I've set it not to start trailing until I'm 40 points in profit. And obviously I didn't go 40 points in profit, therefore it didn't trail. So break even on the opening range breakout long. So break even on that, can't lose. Again, still too tight. I still think that's too tight. But I'll take it. It's another grand. We're going to add a position on a break of that high as well. I'm just going to move that up ever so slightly because I want to take a break out of the 15-minute opening range, basically, which is that candle high there. 5, 10, 50. Oh, sorry, no, it's not. It's that one. So I want to take a break out of that range anyway. So if we get there. Dow is, there we go. Just going to say the Dow's struggling to get above that high, but it's just popped it. I'm going to manually close one of those. I shouldn't do, but I'm going to. Just want to bank it and let the second one run. Oh, this is a bit hectic, isn't it? Up, down, up, down. I will look at the FX pairs in a minute. I'm just, I want to babysit this because I've got quite a lot of risk on it. And it's a new, I haven't traded this pre-market 15 on the NAS before, so I just want to watch it. So my that breakout trade is being added to as a second on the breakout of that high. See, this is much lower risk because I've got wider stops on. Go on, Dow, you can pop it. If the Dow pops that high, should get a rally on the NAS. But it's, we're making a lot of resistance here. Look, this propulsion gap on the NASDAQ. A lot of sell orders coming in at this level. Dow, new high of the session. So we should see the NAS hopefully follow suit. Su Young, what a movement. Scam? What's a scam? The movement. Oil. I've just got an RSI alert on oil. You can't call institutional traders a scam. They're just trading. Okay, stopped out for a profit on that ORB. So that was the profit on that one. Again, so I'm looking to take a break of that high if we can get it with this position. Stop loss is trailing on this now. Should be. No, it's not, is it? I've got too many positions on the thing. I can't really tell where I am. Right, that's pushing now. So I'm going to break even, stop that position there. So I'm break even on that now. That's the pullback. So I want to see this rally now with the Dow. If it doesn't rally, I want to be out. If we can't make a new high while the Dow's making new highs, I suspect the Dow's going to drop. The NAS is holding it back. So if that pullback basically is my line in the sand now, so I'm going to get out and break even on that if it doesn't work. If it does work, I'm going to add and then see how far we can get. We've still got a bit of room on the NAS. There we go. To the upside. So long. God, look at the slippage on that. 5 points. Which RR did you place the TPs on the preset file? Four. That was a 4-1. That was a 4-1. There. Haven't I just hit it? Look, literally. That's a 4-1. So risk is 75% of the opening range. 4-1R is, and this is the whole point of this set file. This set file is a scalp, right? So I'm in. I want to be out in 1 or 2 candles. If in 2 candles we haven't hit TP, I'm out. I've had it. I've had enough. This is designed to be in, out, fast, bank crap loads of money, and then stop. Not like the 15-minute opening range break is designed to be capture the afternoon or the morning's move. So it's a different. This set file is designed for real fast movement, which is why, you know, like I say, I'm getting in here with a stop here. By the time we're there, I'm break even. That is like 3, 4, 5, 6 seconds. I'm break even on it within 10 seconds. It's either going or I don't want to be in it anymore. And then when we get a move, I'm trailing 20 points. Yeah. This thing, look at these candles today, right? I'm trailing 20 points. The candles are 45 points each. So the movement within the candles is enough to stop me out. This is why I think this is a little bit too tight. When I'm looking at all this testing, I've done 6,100 tests on this so far. Oh, don't want to do that. And out of those 6,100 tests, we've got 5,500 profitable permutations. But they're all testing 75 to 150% of the opening range as a stop. TP is no more than 5-1. And the trailer is being tested up to... oh, blimey. Didn't mean to do that. The trailer is being tested up to 60 points. So, you know, it's a candle, really. You're trailing a candle. And the break-even's being tested up to 60 as well. So 1 candle break-even type thing. But look at the returns on it. Compared to the other set files, it's huge. 7, 8, 9R, 6R, 5R. And we're going down 5R, 4R. Still 4R, still 4R. We're getting 3 to 5R on the 15-minute opening range. This thing has got way more permutations, much higher profit. But as we've seen this morning, you are going to get stopped on it a lot. So it's one of those, I don't think you really want to watch it. It's going to drive you mental. Afternoon, Profster. Also, why TP it? That's the reason for TPing it. So this is not. So what I'm doing? Yeah, I take 2 positions here. So each of these is 2 positions. Yeah, one of the positions is a 4-1. The second position is a runner. Yeah. So if you look at the set file, we got a 10-1R, a 10R on the second position, which is never going to get hit. You're never going to get a 10R move without getting a 20-point pullback, right? It's not going to happen. I mean, if it does happen, fantastic. I'll take it, but it's just not going to happen, is it? You can't get 10R without. I mean, it's pulling back 20 pips in a candle, so you're not going to get it. But the whole idea is I want to take off one at 4 and let one run. So this second one will trail, and the idea is maybe we'll get another 2 or 3 candles out of it before we get a pullback. But you know, you look at the DAX or all indices when they push, yeah, you don't get that. That doesn't happen, does it? We get that. We get market structure. So you're going to get stopped out. Now, if you get a shallow pullback to a 38 retracement on the move, you'll probably get that extra one staying in. If you get a 50% pullback on the candle, you're going to get stopped out. So it's in, out, fast, done. As you've just seen this morning, look. I don't know how many trades I just took this morning on that one, but it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Actually, yeah, 12, because my ones that I entered manually are still on. So you've taken 12 trades in 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30 in half an hour. But, you know, it's not for the faint-hearted, this one, is it? I just wanted to see it work. I wanted to see it play out, which is great. It's worked nicely. So my manuals are running nicely as well. Dow's still making new highs, just coming up into that propulsion area now. We're not far away from ADR either on that, so needs to be a little careful here because, as you can see, we're getting a bit of a pullback. Well, the 5, 10, 15 also stopped this opening, so not that big of a deal. Yeah, the 5, 10, 15 would have, you're still long on that, obviously. So the 5, 10, 15 breakout is there, isn't it? So you're 3 long there. Or 1 long, depending on whether you've got multiples turned on or not, but you're long there still. But, you know, the difference between the 5, 10, 15 is your stop is usually somewhere down here. Whereas with this one, you're stopping stops it like that. But that's why we're getting the big bucks, isn't it? Because we're getting the big lot size on. Let me just cancel those pendings off. Don't want to take that short. Right, so quickly looking at everything else we got. ADRs, we obviously looked at oil earlier. Oil, ADR, so I'm long that off of ADR. Nice reverse alert on that. I got in a little bit earlier than reverse alert, but you'd have been in there rather than there. Not a lot in it. Let's say that I took the 1 minute reversal alert. Yeah, so I took that one. No, I didn't actually, because that's still higher. But anyway, it's long. Euro Swiss is coming off of ADR. So you've just had the reverse alert on Euro Swiss. I still think this has got a little bit further to go. So we've got these highs here. It's obvious spot for liquidity here. So if you look at the wrong one, sorry. Retail sentiment on this. Shouldn't have started that one. Euro Swiss. So it's fairly, we've got more shorts than longs. So we want to be longing it, but not dramatically. So obviously the liquidity's up there, isn't it, at the moment? So we're waiting basically for them to get to that level. Once they get to that level, there's a good chance they'll pull it back. However, obviously, that's the expected movement on it. Other than that, RSIs, we've got a couple of extra RSIs that have just shown up now, Euro odd. So that was an ADR RSI extension on the hourly. So drop down M15, there's your entry this morning. So your hourly RSI extension happens sort of early London. There's your reversal alert and your retest. So if you didn't take the first reversal alert, you could have taken the M pattern on the retest. That one's sitting in profit at the moment. Euro Swiss we've looked at. That's an ADR hit. That's also extended on the hourly. Yeah, so we just got extended on the hourly on that candle. So this is the first reversal alert on that one. So if you're trading H1M5, that's your first entry. Euro pound. I'm long still on this. I don't like this as a short. I don't like it as a long, actually. I just don't like it at all at the moment. It's not getting anywhere. There's too much news coming up for euro and pound this week. I don't want to trade it, really. So I'm expecting not to get any higher than that today. We're struggling. We've tried now for 4 hours to make progress, and we haven't. So we had that big propulsion move put in. And since we got that propulsion move in, we've just had a load of attempts to push higher, and we haven't managed to. So they're stomping on them at the moment, the buyers. So we're not getting anywhere. So I'm trailing that. I'll be out of that on the next pullback. Or, if they do get to this level and they do manage to get there, all the liquidity there is going to pop, isn't it? So we're going to get a nice pop out and push up to previous day's high from Thursday. So there is plenty of space to the upside. We got to get through there though, so I'm not holding out much hope. So you could pull that back from there. So if you get the M5 reversal alert, it's a fairly nice tight trade back down into propulsion as a target, depending on whether or not you're bullish or bearish on euro pound, because it is a difficult one to call at the minute. Obviously, take your pick. It's up or down, isn't it? No real advantage either way. And oil, we know we've covered. So took that one already. So that's all you've got there. I've taken off on the EA. So I've taken off my Aussie New Zealand shorts. So from a buyer scorecard perspective, Aussie New Zealand is a sell. And obviously I've just got out of that Aussie New Zealand. So I've literally just exited that one this morning, those two positions there and there. I'm out of that for the moment. We've just come straight out of, mind you, that whole thing I class as a propulsion gap. So anywhere in here you could find buyers, but I'm out of that for the moment, and I'm going to stay flat on that one. I have actually just replaced it though with pound New Zealand. So on pound US, I'm already short. So I've gone pound New Zealand. The reason I've done that is because I've only got single exposure on the pound at the moment with the pound US pair. So what I've done is I've added pound New Zealand. I've got New Zealand dollar exposure long in the form of New Zealand CAD. I'm waiting to get into New Zealand CAD long on the next reversal alert when we get an hourly RSI extension, but that's just sideways at the moment. So I've added that on. On M5, not M15. Just realised I'm on the wrong time frame for that. So I'm needing an RSI extension as well. So with the pound New Zealand, so I'm just watching the DAX on my other monitor. We're just pulling back off of the Asian highs on the DAX. I should really be watching the NAS, shouldn't I? I've stopped out of one of my NAS positions. So just taking a small profit on that one. There to there. And I'm still in that long. So just looking for continuation long. So again, could buy this. We're in inside bar at the moment. So I wouldn't want to take that because it's too close to this position here. But if we do pull back down towards the lows here and we get some nice contraction, I might take another long here. But I'll wait and see. I'm in danger of getting into another position on this. So yeah, pound New Zealand, I'm waiting to get in on this one, but you can see we're not going anywhere at the moment at all. It's Wick City, total Wick City, this thing. It's got no directional bias whatsoever. The reason I'm short on it is basically fundamentals on side, COT is on side, retail is on side. So retail are all long in this, COT are all short in it, so I want to be short. I just don't think I'm going to get an entry because for me to get into this, we need an RSI extension. You look at it. I mean, look at the wicks on this thing on the hourly. It's just disgusting. Impossible to trade it. If you're trading this on any time frame lower than the hourly, you are just stopped out constantly. So I'm waiting for a retest of last week's high, which I don't think I'm going to get this week. It may well happen off of the news, but other than that, I'm just going to sit and wait, really. I'm not going to get into it long or short, really. unless we are getting an extension. So ordinarily, if I was trading sentiment, I'd be happy just to get in, but I'm actually trading H1M5 on this, so I need an extension on RSI on the hourly, and then I will take a reversal alert short on the 5-minute chart. But it's just too choppy at the minute. Let me just watch this NAS, because I am now in the zone where I'm going to take an additional position. 2.5 minutes left on this candle. If this candle closes back down here, in fact, if it continues to tank, I'm going to get in short anyway. But I've got this long on from up here. So hopefully this is just a deep pullback, but it's actually just chop, isn't it, really? If you look at this on a 15-minute time frame, it's just a mess. Mess. Just total mess. This is where we opened. Yeah. Mess. We pushed up. Couldn't make it any higher. Now we're all the way back down where we opened. And we're adding at the open. Good luck. Another messy, messy, messy session. So I'll stop out on this long and flip short. If we come out, if we manage to get basically back down below the open, flip short. There's not far to go before you're going to run straight into potential support where there's going to be limit orders buying up the low of the session. So tough. Still like it long at the minute. So market structure at the moment is a very, very, very messy buy. Can you tell me what the source of your retail sentiment? Yeah, brokers. Loads of different brokers. So a lot of brokers publish their retail sentiment. Yeah, so people like Dukascopy, they publish their customers' net long short positions on a regular basis. So I get feeds of data from multiple brokers. What goes into here? Oh, what am I going to do with this? Okay. So the ORB EA is back in the zone, ready to take another long or short. Hopefully a long. We still haven't broken that low. I'm long again. Morning, Brian. Swissler. Is the edge of the pre in the continuous mode or just the combination? So I've tested continuous. Hang on a sec. Let me just watch this one play out because I've got a feeling this one's going to stop out. What I'm worried about is whipsaw with this because I've done my testing running it for the entire session, not using targets. Like I'm two grand up, I should be stopping, but I haven't done the testing in that respect. So stopped out on that long. See, this is the danger. stopped out on all my longs there. So there's $650 loss. The edge with the opening range breakout is the initial cash balance break for the day. The edge of this is the pre-market initial cash balance candles. When we come back into this area, the edge is not here, is it? This is just an area of the chart that was before the initial cash balance went in. So I don't foresee this as actually being an edge past the initial move. However, I haven't tested that because all my testing is running for the entire session. So I might rerun these tests and pick, I don't know, how long would you want? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, maybe 30 minutes. So after 30 minutes, we stop trading. But the edge, I've got 2 minutes left before that one gets in another position. Unless it flies out the short, then I'm short. So this column here is the ORB1 add and ORB2 add. So this is continuous mode for the opening range break 1 and 2. So I'm running in 2 positions. That one runs with a TP. That one doesn't run with a TP. That's just running with a trailer. So having a continuous mode on or off, as you can see. So these are all got continuous mode on and off. This one is off and on. That is on and off. That is off and on. That is both off and on and off and on, off and off. So, you know, look at the profit. Doesn't really matter, does it? I don't think continuous mode makes, well, I mean, it doesn't, does it? You can see it doesn't, because there's every combination of continuous mode on and off in here, and it's making shed loads of money. So, but if you filter it out to both being on, i.e. having a continuous mode on all the time, you're still getting 8, 7, 6 R return with continuous mode on. If you filter it to not use continuous mode at all, you're getting 8s, 7s, 6s, down to 5s. So I would say there is more of an edge using continuous mode than not using continuous mode. But there's not, you know, like I say, with all of these tests, these permutation tests, there's not a lot in it. There you go, I'm short again. At break even, can't lose, have run straight into support. They bought that up. So there's limits under there, stop orders under there. So if we push out the low here, we'll get a nice flush. But if the limit orders are going to keep coming in at this level and we don't flush, I'm just going to stop out break even on it. And that's the edge. The flush happens, I make 2 or 3K. The flush doesn't happen, I don't lose anything. You know, that doesn't matter, does it? Either goes or it doesn't. I can't program or test the EA to say, don't take a short if you're just selling it. I mean, you would never do that. A normal person would never sell into support. Ridiculous. Because you know it's going to trigger limit orders at the support. So you never sell into support. You sell when support has broken, when these guys puke their longs. That's when you start selling. But I can't test that. And this is why I want to I want to watch this playing out, because I want to see, I know myself for experience, that's not a good trade to take. I wouldn't have taken that normally. However, the EA doesn't know. See, there's a pop. Do you see that pop? We just went boom, boom. That is all those guys that just bought those limit orders, puking their stop losses, becoming sellers. Now that drives the market short. Yeah. My break even triggered. If my break even hadn't triggered, I've now got $1,000 in profit. You can't control it. It's totally random. So tight stop losses are good, as Sue Young's just said. But they're also bad in the fact that you will just get stopped out so much. But you will lose less money. And that's why this has got such high return on drawdown. Because your drawdown is so small, because all you're doing is you're taking tiny losses all the time. You know, look at the P&L from this afternoon session. Look, 28, 28, 89, 7, 7, 28, 28. All these stops, these tiny little ones. So you're either getting the big, massive running winners or mostly break-even stops. So you missed that now. That would have been a lovely short, wouldn't it? But I'll take 1,600. Right, US dollar's pushing very hard now. So US dollar CAD pushing. So we've obviously got loads of weakness on the indices, which means we've got lots of strength on the US dollar. So those longs on US dollar CAD are working nicely. Pound US dollar will be coming down as well. CAD Swiss is starting to move again. Did you take that short? Who was talking about the short earlier? Did you take that short? Oh, it was US dollar Swiss you were looking at, wasn't it? Did you take the short? M5 reversal alert. Oh, didn't get it. Just about to get it now, look. Oh, that's so frustrating. Look at that. There's the wick. Entry, break even stop, wick. $1,000. That's the difference between $1,000 and $28. Yeah. Only we knew. What set file are you using for the DAX and the NAS? Yeah, they're in the Telegram, Dean. I posted them this morning. David, so you've implemented a strategy to trade pairs with the MRA EA per the sentiment? No, not yet. No, I'm not using the market reversal alerts EA to trade sentiment. I'm using, I'm going to use price action. I'm building an EA basically to trade sentiment. You can't, I don't, with sentiment, I want to be trading it similar to this. I don't want to be trading it on market structure as such. You can do that already. So if you want to trade market structure, you literally just look at the sentiment, because the sentiment doesn't change that often. Yeah. So if you look at the historical retail sentiment, I'll just use the US dollar for the moment. Yeah, there they are. You found them in the Telegram group. So if you look at the historical the retail sentiment for the US dollar Swiss, yeah, since the 18th of January, you should have been shorting US dollar Swiss. Yeah, it doesn't change that much. It changes up and down 10 or 15% a week. So if you've got something, look at US dollar yen, roughly mid euro US dollar, it's been a short. So they've been short on it. So we should have been longing euro US dollar for the last 10 days, basically, right? So if you're going to trade sentiment with the market reversal alert CA, or you trade it with market structure, you don't need to do anything but literally come in here and go, right. Or you actually wouldn't come in here, you'd go into retail sentiment and literally just go, show me the big ones, right? So you go in New Zealand dollar CAD, yeah, set the market reversal alert CA up on New Zealand dollar CAD and tell it to take longs. Simple as that. And it will basically just get you in on every market structure break. Long. And obviously you can position trade it or do whatever you want to do with it. So it's really easy to set up. And that New Zealand dollar CAD is not going to change from being a +2. For that to become not a +2, this thing's got to drop 20% of its longs. It's going to take a catastrophic move. 20% of its shorts. It's going to take a catastrophic move like that on a news event to stop out enough people for them to go, I ain't shorting that anymore, and that to flip. So it's really a fundamental news event is the only thing that's going to change this dramatically. And even then, you'll find people will start to fade the crap out of it. If this thing flies to the upside and they all get stopped out, they will do it again. They'll keep shorting it because that's what we do in retail. We're trying to pick the top all the time. We're trying to pick the bottom. So you just stop doing that because you know the market's going to go back the other way because it's hunting your stops. So you don't need to do anything but stick the market reverse alerts on EA on. But what I'm looking for is an intraday sentiment. An intraday way to trade it with a stop rather than position trade it, which is what the market reverse alerts EA is designed to do, is to position trade really. So I'm looking for something, and to do that, I'm going to be using price action rather than market structure. And I will probably use higher time frames, focusing on the hourly and the 15-minute. So trading hourly and 15-minute price action. So bearish engulfings, things like that. Or 2 candle high lows. 3 bar reversals. You know, that sort of stuff. Because what I want it to have done is pushed and pulled. But market structure is obviously a much slower signal. So, you know, look at this, for example. On the hourly, there's your market reversal alerts, and yes, now we are going that way, but look at where you got in and how much of the move you missed. Whereas if you're trading price action intraday with sentiment, I think you need to be in and out faster. Market structure, you could use out 1 minute market structure, I guess. That's going to get you in fairly tight. There's a 3 bar reversal. Which is also a market structure break. But I will be using pending orders anyway. So what the way I'm envisaging it, I've got it half coded at the moment. But the way I'm envisaging building it to test it is that we will get a push. Yeah. So we've got a high and a low of the candle. We will then get the next candle. If the next candle is an inside bar, I'm going to pending short. If sentiment is long, I'm going to pending short it. If it then pushes up, I've got a new price action pattern there. So that pending comes off, and now we need to see what happens. We've just made a new high. So I'm looking to see what happens on this candle. This candle, if it's a bearish candle, we'll get in on it. If it's an inside bar or it puts in a higher low, I'm going to pending that previous one. So I'm going to use pendings to try and get us into the positions rather than using market structure. But the problem with market structure reversals is we wait for candle close. So what you could find is you're going to get pin bars that get you in and push back. And obviously you won't get a market reverse alert in it. That's not a problem at all. But I'd rather get in when I see that strength starting, because that's normally when we are going to get that move. So I just want to get in quicker, if you see what I mean. I think with these, speed is more important. Because I want to develop a stop loss strategy with it. That's the thing. I'm position trading with it already. And the market reverse alert CA already does this. It's just you've got to set it up yourself. But it takes, I mean, look at Pound New Zealand. I set this up this morning. It took me 10 seconds. Literally drag it on, load the set file. I just realized I forgot to change the direction. Set your direction, press the button. How long did that take? I looked at retail sentiment for the pound. I found one I wanted, and well, not retail in this case, it was bias scorecard, but you know, you get the point. Right. Oh, look at that. So that was $400. Let's measure this out, and let's measure this out and make me cry. That was $400. That is, I'll wait for it to stop. $4,800. That's an evaluation pass. And the difference between me passing evaluation, and I say this many times, you've heard me say this before, the difference between me passing evaluation today and not passing evaluation was 1 point on the NASDAQ. Moth to cry. So if you are trading the 15-minute opening range today, you have gone long and you are now short. Very nicely short and trailing somewhere in here probably. So again, massive divergence on the Dow Jones and the NASDAQ. Dow is a lot stronger at the moment. Coming down now though. So looking to the downside on the NASDAQ. ADR, you're at the downside now. So you're at yesterday's low and you're at ADR. If ADR, well, yesterday's low obviously doesn't look like there's any limit orders triggering at all here. If they were, they've been completely run over. So 125 to 150 ADR is your next stop on the downside, which is in here, which is the open yesterday, open on Thursday. So is this finally our bearish move? Certainly looks like it, doesn't it? I'm gonna cry in a minute. David, took CAD Swiss short on the 5-minute reversal. Cool. It's lovely. Double top. Yeah, sorry, that's the other thing as well. And that's the other reason I'm implementing price action rather than market structure with the sentiment is because I'm going to teach it to trade support and resistance. So I will be setting up 1 hour and 4 hour support resistance zones for that exact reason there, to trade these. So daily highs and lows will become a level. 1 hour and 4 hour support resistance will also become zones. So if we have a sentiment long, short rather, like we do on the CAD Swiss at the moment, we'll be watching the highs, yesterday's high. We'll be watching the 1 hour high and the 4 hour high. And that's where we'll be looking to take our price action shorts in line with sentiment at those levels. Why? Because that's where the liquidity is that they're going to be finding, isn't it? That's the whole point of the sentiment thing is if they are all short on this, yeah, we know the liquidity is going to be at the opposites. So that's where we are going to start to get in. Again, it's all got to be tested, but something is strange since I tried this NAS pre 15-minute set. The other started trailing the stop loss. Yeah, Ladder, these set files work on tick, not on bar close. Yeah. So if you've got it running on 2, yeah, I mean, you only want to run it on one instrument, on one version of the instrument. These magic numbers, the way the ORB EA works is it works on a grouping system. So it takes a group of orders taken at a level, and it bulks them together, and it uses them. So it uses a group of orders 1, 2, and 3 for the first, second, and third opening ranges. You may have a crossover between the two, whereas this is now taking over on tick. Oh, that's awful. Just stopped. I've just TP'd on something. Euro pound, I'm out. So closed out. Oh, why did that not close out that one? Let me just do that there for a minute. I thought I had a trailer on that. Did I not? Oh, I didn't get 100 points in profit, did it? Not by a long shot. Right, so yeah, I've just TP'd on that one. Euro pound, so I'm out. Again, you know, we're struggling here. So this position that I have, we're either, again, liquidity grabbing the lows here. Look. So driven the market long. Everybody's been jumping in long. So they've just taken a good chunk of everybody at the end of the London session out. So maybe they've got enough to move now and they're going to go for a run of those highs. If they are, then I will trail. If not, I'll get out of that one there as well. So I'll be totally flat on this. That's only a $40 loss. So that Swiss has come down nicely. So this is Swiss franc strength we've got coming through. Yeah, nice. So that was an ADR. That Euro Swiss was a lovely one. US dollar Swiss will be coming down as well. Just about to get the reverse alert on that. Come on, Swissy. That's where we get tempted to tweak things, increase stops, etc. Yeah. If you're going to tweak things, just make sure you backtest your tweaks. The thing I'm finding with this ORBEA, the more I test it, the more I prove to myself that it doesn't matter what settings you use, it will make you money. The more I'm realizing that the key to actually trading this strategy is not to trade it. You've got to not watch it at all, because when you see the figures in here, yeah, we're making 60 grand a year for the 7 grand drawdown and all this sort of stuff. On paper, it's all beautiful. As you've just seen this morning, when you watch the thing play out, it's nerve-wracking. You're better off sticking it on an account and never looking at the thing. Check it every day just to make sure it's running, and obviously, you know, general housekeeping things, that your VPS hasn't crashed and all that sort of stuff. But it's not a manual trading strategy, is it? Because you want to intervene all the time. Look at that drop there. Look at that short. Not giving you one iota of a reason to get out of that position short at all if you're in it. There's not been a green candle all the way. Every single body, apart from that one there, is smashing down. Look, it hit my TP, so I would have been out of the position anyway, the first one. Yeah, but your brain, when you're in this short and I'm sitting in 4.5 grand's worth of profit there, your brain, when you get to here, is like, that's $1,500. That's your mortgage. Get out. Whereas what you need to do is let the edge play out. And the edge is letting these big, fast days go, because this is what makes this column happen. Same with the DAX. It's the same thing. These ones as well, these set files that I tested, look. So these set files here, the difference between these two and these two are that these two are trading the pre-15 and the post-15. Yeah. So ORB1 is that, ORB2 is that. So we're taking TP on the first one and the second one becomes a runner. that still returns a 5R, but look how quickly it fades. So there's not that many with both of these that work particularly well. Same with the DAX. We've got 3R, 2R. So it's better on the DAX than it is on the NASDAQ. So you're better off just running either the pre or the post. But I just, this is not something I want to watch on a daily basis. You'd pull your hair out and have a heart attack before you made any money. There goes US dollar Swiss. Yep. Reverse alert on M5, US dollar Swiss. So we didn't actually get to yesterday's high on that, unfortunately. So again, you know, when I'm looking at the sentiment EA, we'll be watching certain levels that wouldn't have triggered a trade, unfortunately, because we didn't get there. But I'm also toying with the idea of creating pip zones around the highs to trigger orders as well for those exact circumstances. But I would rather see them take that liquidity first than not quite take it, because it's still there, isn't it? There's still a massive reason for them to go long on that at the moment. I've set up a new page on the website as well, just to let you know. You probably might, it depends if you, I've set up 2 new pages on the website for anybody with eagle eyes. First one is this one, trading stuff, my recommendations. I keep getting asked, and I've literally, I don't know if you're in here, Suresh, but I've literally just received a DM, which I get probably 5 times a week. Which broker would you recommend? So this page here, trading stuff, my recommendations, is the broker I use, the prop firms I use, the software I use for and for futures, and the software I use for futures, my VPS provider, and where I get my data from. That's pretty much me. So I've set this page up so I can send it to people, which I've just done to Suresh. And also some of these are affiliate links. So, you know, if you go and sign up with my Forex funds, I get a kickback of about £5. Woohoo! Thanks for that. So yeah, but I thought I'd just set a page up because I get asked all the time. There's part of my goal to set up an FAQ page to actually answer all the questions I get asked all the time. And the other page I've set up as well, which I'm probably going to regret badly, is this one. Got a strategy, need an EA. So if you have a strategy that you think is really good and you want to test it, NASDAQ is just coming off of ADR. So we just got some limits triggering at ADR. Dean, yeah, highly recommended Jigsaw, as he's just said. If you are trading futures and you're trading on NinjaTrader, go and get Jigsaw. Change your life. Totally different view of the market, Jigsaw. But yeah, so I've set this page up to for people that want to get an EA built. Now, I keep saying I don't want to become a coder. So I'm going to vet what comes through this page, and I might get rid of it depending on what I get, because what I think I'm going to get and what I keep getting from people that say, can you build me an EA, is something unbelievably overcomplicated that is so difficult to code. The reason it's not been coded before is because it's too difficult to code. There's too many moving parts. And in backtesting, you would just get nonsense results because there's too many moving parts. There's 5 indicators involved. There's 3 different exit strategies, 2 different entry strategies. No. Sell high, buy low. It's that simple. So I'm not going to code those. But if people have got strategies like Larry Williams' strategies and there's really simple strategies out there which are really, really good. Yeah. That work on hourly timeframes, 4-hourly timeframes. There's some good scalping strategies out there, which as well, some good Bollinger Band mean reversion strategies out there, which work very well. So that's the sort of thing I want to code and stick up for backtesting so that people can just backtest it. And the problem with backtesting strategies, it takes ages. So I'll put this on here to explain the advantages of having an EA built. You don't, I mean, obviously you would use it for automated trading, but the main advantages are this, yeah? Removing yourself from the equation, like I just said. If you've got a really good strategy, it might be the best strategy in the world, but can you implement it? Can you follow the rules? No, most people can't. This is why everybody blows their accounts, because they're crap traders. They're not crap traders because they've got a crap strategy. They're crap traders because they go long, it moves up 10 pips and they get out, whereas their strategy says you should go for 100. Yeah, if you remove yourself from the equation and let the EA do it for you, the EA will just make you money. Yeah, as I just proved, right? I didn't do any of this today. I came up with a strategy, but I didn't do it, did I? The EA did that. Big difference. So there's that. And the testing side of things. So you might have a strategy, and I get this a lot. People come to me and say that there's one strategy which is a Bollinger Band mean reversion strategy with a 1.5R and at about a 55 to 60% strike rate. It's a really good strategy. And you can trade it, usually you trade it on the 15-minute time frame. But when I got the strategy, it worked really well. And what I did and what everybody does, yeah, is they go in here and they go to the time frame, or they go in the strategy tester, and they will test the strategy in here. So they'll go back in time and go, right, we're outside the Bollinger Band there. We would have taken a short there, and it went that far. So I would have got a TP tick, mark one TP down. Yeah, and you do this, and you go back and you test 3 months or 4 months, and you come out with a 65% strike rate with a 1R return, and you go, that's amazing. That's my strategy. You start trading it live and it blows your account. Why? Because you tested 3 months. You need to test a minimum on 5 minute, 15 minute of a year to 3 years. You've got to verify the long-term edge. Yeah, something that has a good run for 2 months is not a profitable strategy. The only way you can really do that is by getting it fully automated, so you know you get into 100% of the opportunities the strategy gives you, yeah, and you exit and enter in line with those rules all the time. So building an EA will do that. You'll be able to test it immediately and you just go, that's crap, that's brilliant. Or it's okay, but it could be improved, which again comes up to the improvement permutation tests. So you might have something that has a bit of profit over the long term, but it's not quite right. So you can run system parameter permutation tests, which is what you see me doing all the time, running all these tests, testing different stop losses with different TPs, with different combinations of the strategy to find out where the edge really lies. There'll be a bell curve of results. And if your edge is in here, you know you've got something that is robust moving forward. Again, robustness tests, all part of the same stuff. So you can do all of that with an automated strategy. You can also test it on multiple instruments, like with the opening range breakout. Developed it for the DAX, tested it on the NAS. It's actually better on the NAS. Yeah, I wouldn't have known that if I didn't have an EA and I could quickly go test it. My God, there's 2 instruments I can make. So instead of 40 grand, I can make 80. Fantastic. You won't know that unless you do this. You don't also know with a lot of price action strategy specifically, whether or not it's better on different time frames. So price action strategies that work on highs and lows and candlestick patterns, on a 15-minute chart, you're going to get totally different results to an hourly chart, because price action playing out on the 15-minute on an hourly candle will look totally different. So again, you can quickly test all of this, and you can't do any of this manually without hours and hours and hours of work. So I thought what I'll do is I'll set this up because I've got a basic EA that has all the risk parameters for TPs, trailers, break-evens. It's all ready to go with basics, and all it needs is a strategy plugged into it to be able to just go and fire orders. Yeah. So I thought I'll set a page up, and again, the other thing that stops people getting EAs developed is the cost. So I thought, well, it doesn't take me long to build these. So rather than you going to a marketplace and getting a coder to quote on something, or going to a freelancer and getting 15 quotes in which range from $50 to $5,000 because you get a crappy guy who's never used MQL4 and a 20-year seasons programmer, you're going to get what you pay for. So I thought, if I build these, I can then stick them up on the market and you can buy them from the market. And then everybody can benefit from it. And I will benefit from it too, because I will spend the time building the things. You'll spend the time coming up with the strategies, and I'll just put them up there for $50, $100, $200, depending on how long they take me to build. So if you've got a simple mean reversion Bollinger Band strategy that you can clearly write down the rules for, send it to me, and it probably costs you $50. And then you've got it, and you can back test it and muck about with it as much as you like. And then if other people want to buy it, they can do. So I get paid, win for me. You get exactly what you want for next to no cost. But what I don't want to do is this to take over my life. So I'll put it up. I've put it up for the moment, and you need to fill out a form. This basically tells you what I need to know. Yeah, if you haven't got all of this information in the document you send me or written in here, I can't help you. You've got to have all of this as a very bare minimum in every strategy, in every EA. So, but yeah, I'll see what I get. If I get bombarded with people wanting to automate ICT, forget it. I haven't got enough time in my life to even work out that and then automate it, let alone. But if you've got a simple strategy, RSI. Yeah, if you want to test RSI extensions, yeah, but you only want to use the 80, and instead of using market reverse alerts, you want to use bearish engulfing price action, I can build that for you and have it up this afternoon. It cost you $50. Yeah, so that's why I've built that page, to try and help that along. And if you find a brilliant strategy, fantastic. Everyone can benefit from it. That's what it's all about. Share the strategies. But I can't do it for free because it will take me a good few hours for each of them that I build. But I thought if I can pump a couple of these out a week, and then obviously whoever wants them can test them. If they become profitable strategies, we can build our own portfolio, and everybody can have an army of EAs. But my thoughts on EAs and leaving them on full autopilot. It's very difficult to find strategies that are long-term profitable with a long-term edge. So oil is moving nicely. I've just got out of euro pound. I'm out of that now. So I stopped out of that second position. That's coming down nicely, straight into that propulsion gap. So watch for bull price action here. If you fancy it long, I really don't fancy it anyway at the moment, but it's going to go one way or the other, isn't it? Dean, better with CQG data as well. Rhythmic is okay, but nowhere near as good. Yeah, well, that's the beauty of Jigsaw is Jigsaw integrates with loads of stuff. Data providers, and also for prop, obviously, all the prop firms out there, the prop firms I use for futures, they all have, Apex being the main one I trade futures with, or did trade futures with. They always Rhythmic, which is great. But you can get your plots done by a different data provider, and you don't have to use what Apex give you. So you can pull in different data and then trade it that way. But Brian, thanks. My screen just got covered in coffee. How did I do that? It wasn't me. Your fat fingers, not mine. Oh, you just spat on the screen. Okay. Did I say something funny? Something like it's going to go up or down. But anyway. So yeah, so I'm fully expecting now to get absolutely bombarded by people wanting EAs built. But anyway, I'll see how that goes. This is I thought I'll put it up and I'll see what I get. Because there's loads of strategy. If you want to find strategies, like if you go on the internet and look for trading strategies, there are so many out there, free strategies. And half of them are actually pretty good. You know, all the Larry Williams stuff still works today. It's all based off the daily charts, but it all still works today. There's one of the guys that I follow on YouTube posted one today. What strategy was it? It was the... God, where is it? I think I bookmarked it. Oh, it's up on the screen. There you go. Yeah, turtle traders. Yeah, so turtle trader strategy. Here you go. Look, brilliant strategy, but you have to back test it for yourself. I'll put this up because I'm going to watch it in a bit. But you've got to back test it yourself. So you can find all these strategies out there on the internet, which are really good. This is Richard Dennis's strategy. There's loads of information about the turtles. I was part of a group called the Turtles because it's such a, you know, they came together, put their resources in, built a strategy, absolutely killed the market. And that's what this is kind of all about. Yeah, there's loads of strategies out there. I just don't have time to weed out the good ones, but other people with brains out there, and there's plenty of you, can find these strategies. And it's just a case of quickly building something that you can chuck into MT4 and go, yeah, it's got an edge. If it's got a long-term edge, use it. If you get 10 strategies with a long-term edge and stick them all on one account, you've got diversification across timeframes, instruments, and strategies. That's what it's all about. Yeah, I'm position trading and I'm using the ORB strategy. It's diversification. As long as you're keeping an eye on your exposure at all times, you can trade loads of different strategies, can't you? But anyway, we'll see what happens with that. So that's really all I've got for today. I'm pretty much done for the day. I'm not going to be trading anymore. In fact, what I'm going to do is also turn him off because I don't want to trade anymore today. I'm done for the day. I'm going to be managing these positions. I just close the price action toolkit. I'll leave that running. I might need that. So I'm just going to manage these positions at the moment. Oil's nicely in profit again now. So that buy, oh, look at that. Did I post this? I didn't, did I? No, I didn't. I forgot. I was going to post this in the Telegram group, but I assumed that anybody that was in here with me this morning knows I was going to take another long on this if we push down, because obviously I'm already in a position on it. So, but yeah, got the ADR and just jumped in on it. Look at that for an entry, eh? ADR. Again, you know, strategy development. Yeah, I built this based on not a whim. I built it based on somebody else's work that I did 15 years worth of research on and came out with my own variation of it. So, you know, I didn't invent the average daily range. It's literally just the ATR indicator based on the daily chart with a little bit of a tweak. But, you know, you can't say the ADR indicator is absolutely amazing based on this one trade alone, can you? That's not real life, is it? This doesn't happen every day, but we know the edge is there. So, you know, there's loads of strategies out there that you can trade like this. If we can find them all, put them all together in EAs, back test the edge to make sure it's there for the long run, we can all have an army of robots. But they've got to be simple. Yeah, it doesn't get any simpler than this, does it? The rules of this strategy are price hits ADR. There is some kind of signal that tells you that it's looking like it's going the other way. Market reversal alert, price action, something. The rules are 1, 2. There's 2 rules. Simplest strategies in the world are the ones that actually work. Larry Williams' strategies consist of, there's a candle. If this candle's low is lower than that candle's low, get in. And then when the close of the candle is above the candle entry that you took, get out. That's Larry Williams' strategy. Smash bars. He developed it 20 odd years ago, still works today. There is one rule. Is this lower than that? Tick, enter. Is this higher than that? Tick, exit. Huge edge on a daily chart. It's one rule. Yeah, one rule. Are we there? Have we got price action signal? Yes, go. Is RSI extended? Have we got price action signal? Yes, go. So I don't want to be bombarded with complexity. Break on outlet. US dollar CAD's working nicely as well. Decent push on that. I'm going to have to bank some of this in a minute. News-wise, tomorrow we've got CPI estimates for the euro, which are meant to be down. So we might get some volatility off of that tomorrow morning. We've got OPEC tomorrow. Oh, sorry, that's Wednesday. Sorry. Wednesday, we've got OPEC for oil. So we need to be watching oil on Wednesday. Tomorrow, we've got the CAD GDP in the afternoon. We've got US dollar consumer confidence and unemployment for the New Zealand tomorrow evening. So there's nothing, there is obviously things affecting the US coming out tomorrow, but they're aftermarket, after the bell. So tomorrow morning, I want to really try and get as flat as I can on everything. I'm going to be turning the EAs off with a view to basically getting as flat as I can for Wednesday, because FOMC on Wednesday and the new US dollar rate. So as soon as that comes out Wednesday evening, things are going to start to get interesting. So I think what I'm going to do is try and get as flat as I can on everything, and then just wait really and see what happens. I might try and it's a bit late to be streaming FOMC, but I might trade FOMC and just try and get this account across the line if I haven't got it across the line already. I'm $2,000 ahead of target at the moment, which is good, but just kind of want to get fairly flat, because you are going to get some serious volatility from Wednesday onwards. All right, anybody got anything else you want to look at before I disappear? Or any other questions? Or is everybody furiously scribbling down a strategy on paper? I'm going to get bombarded now. I always do that when I put a new website page up. I soft launch it. I don't tell anybody it's there, and I see if people spot it. And these ones up in the header there, I don't think anybody ever looks up here, because you kind of get acclimatized to that. And I haven't put it in the main navigation or anywhere, so I've just kind of soft launched it. I did this yesterday. I've had 2 emails already. No, I haven't even told anyone it's there. So I'm just a bit worried. Yeah, coders out there, might have to start employing people. I could start a little business, couldn't I? Coding as well. That'd be another little sideline. That'd be good. Anyway, we'll see what happens to that. Right, so I'll leave it there. Anything you need, come in the Telegram group. I'll be in there. I'm going to just these are just too scary for me. I think these NASDAQ 75% ranges. So I'm going to, when this test is finished, I'm going to do some visual back testing on this. I've still got 23 hours left on this test. I want to run the whole thing, because then it's done and I've got to worry about it. But I want to visual back test these and see how many days we have losses and how many days we have wins. Because the max loss is 2.5K on a day and it stops trading. So I just want to see visually really how many times we actually get that level. If we do. But I think this is too tight. The strategy that I showed you today, I think that's too tight on the NASDAQ. DAX, it's all right, because the DAX is much slower. You know, we were running it on the DAX this morning and it was just, it's a lot slower, the DAX. But the NASDAQ is too much of a beast. So I'm going to go with a bigger one. Right, I'll be back tomorrow morning, 7:50, same time. If you need anything, come in Telegram. And I'll be back tomorrow afternoon, obviously, for New York as well. We'll trade the DAX in the morning, see if we can get some ORBs and some profit off that. And hopefully you all have a profitable day. So I will catch you guys tomorrow. Have a good one.